all their loads and since like our things have been. We just want to add something. So what's absent? If people are following the different political debates, which a lot of which are this, they're talking about the healthcare that's getting affordable healthcare to millions of people, and the growing numbers every day. But it's in the media and it's reported on and in these ways. But to the extent that people aren't out of reality that is claiming that such a thing should be repealed and taken away, or that it's somehow, something scandalous and bad has happened. But to the extent that it's about reality, it's about like what are the problems that need to be worked out to move forward. One thing that we don't get here that's amazing when they bring all these different people on. It's sure, I guess, if you're really following it and you really want there to be. I mean, it's interesting to hear opinions that aren't really opinions and hear people bicker. I mean, that's sort of sarcastically, of course. It's really not helpful. But you know what we're not getting that really is how persons like I think who are rational, who like we live in a free country. We're not in North Korea. Like we should be allowed access to information about the outside world. We don't. We do. You do hear about like countries where because of the economic crisis, mainly there's problems with their healthcare system. But there are so many countries that have healthcare and some that have universal healthcare. And what we would like over here to hear from that would be really helpful is from, for example, people who are in the political class in Switzerland. It would be wonderful to hear them tell us why is it working so well in Switzerland? What are they doing differently? Or is something very different about Switzerland? Or someone from Germany, some type of person in the political class or even in the academic sector in Germany to explain to us why it works so well over there in Germany. Like, or how it works and how is it different than it works in Switzerland. The Netherlands, maybe it works one way and other countries work. I'd like to hear the experience from someone who knows what they're talking about of different healthcare systems in countries that have it, and then that might give us a sense of what we're not seeing or what the problems are. It's as though the term reinventing the wheel has gained a new significance for a lot of people. That people are arguing in a way that would indicate we're doing something brand new that's never been done and we don't really know what to do, and people are just demonizing the president and saying ridiculous things like it should be repealed and giving unhelpful criticisms without explaining to more people who don't know about health policy what they're talking about. But they're all Americans, and some of them don't have any real expertise in the area. They're basically a politician. They're only allowed soundbite arguments where they yell over each other. Maybe some it's all bad, some it's all good. I'm these people. If there are no people qualified to explain to us how we move forward in a rational way, then we don't even have to hear from any Americans. It would be nice to hear from societies where people are educated, think clearly, and have a healthcare system that's working and comparatively understand what's working and what's not working. And to the extent that that's something that needs to be explained because it requires some knowledge about health policy, that might be the time to realize the population is just hearing gobbledygook and arguing and demonizing because many of us maybe don't have a clear picture of what's going on and what the issues are. But we don't hear from such people. So I mean, but no one should think that this isn't abnormal and isn't a kind of information control that suggests we are to remain ignorant and pretend we're inventing something from scratch and that it's not working. It is working. It's just a matter of how do we move forward and how can we look ahead to having like full universal health care that's affordable for everyone. So but we have to hear from the outside world and we're not allowed to do that here. I'd love to hear someone from Switzerland talk about what's happening there. It's one of the most stable economies in the world, healthcare system, yet apparently the corporations in some sense are in sort of full control, but they also have a sort of direct democracy. Sounds like all kinds of fascinating ways in which that society is structured. Love to hear about their healthcare system. It sounds like a model. You know who else it turns out has a great thing going with regard to things like healthcare is Israel. We'd love to hear someone from Israel, from any of the political class or an intellectual, to tell us what they're doing in Israel, because that seems that they have healthcare there, and they have a sort of, doesn't have a name, but in Switzerland it doesn't have a name either. The full, clean out these words like socialism from our vocabulary where no one really knows what it means, and bring in people who don't have a name for what they're doing, but it's called the Switzerland model or the German model or the Israeli model of how to have a healthcare system. This could be true. We'd love to have people on educate our higher classes who are maybe a little sick or have psychological problems, what their attitude is about paying higher taxes to benefit the whole. They obviously, as you're aware, have a different attitude. We hear the part of our higher classes are in paranoid hysteria about something called redistribution, and there's some way in which the word socialism is being given a connotation to mean something that has to do with like statism or taking away personal freedoms. We don't know what that's about. I'd love to hear people from societies where they pay high taxes discuss why they don't mind and what their way of looking at society is. For example, in the Netherlands or in Germany, might hear this is how other people in your social class in other societies view their system, where they sort of do pay high taxes, but it benefits the whole. A different way of looking at it might be very helpful in a country where people are hostile to the poor because they fear that like Robin Hood is coming to take all their money away or something to help the poor. Love to hear different perspectives from other industrialized countries. One reason it's sort of barred from our media is that we have a propaganda system that's based on, I don't know, keeping people ignorant, arguing, and holding back progress in a way that indicates there's no rational reason. It's as though it's for its own sake, just to wreck everything or something.